Good morning, friends, and welcome to another video. If you are new here, my name is Lexie. Welcome to my channel. It's kind of early in the morning, hence why there's this like random sunbeam behind me. But I just wanted to jump on here, film an intro clip to kind of get this video going. In this video, so many of you guys always ask for training footage, so I finally did it. I filmed my full glute day for you guys, and I'm gonna do a voiceover and explain it a little bit more because my training has been so like amazing recently. But I wanted to say welcome to this video. It's gonna be, you're gonna see some of my training, a little bit of a vlog style of things, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and without further ado, enjoy the rest of this video. Little treat myself. I only do this every once in a while, but you guys know Ghost Energy is my favorite energy drink. I like this flavor, cherry limeade. My favorite is still Swedish Fish and Bubblicious, but I figured I would give this flavor a go today before I train some legs. Okay, so I'm doing a bit of a voiceover on this workout. So all of the sets that I filmed in this workout footage are the top sets of my exercises, so of each exercise, so my last set of each exercise. So this was the last set of hip thrusts. As you'll see towards the end, my reps start slowing down. I'm working with very low volume right now. Obviously you can tell in my face I am struggling, which is exactly how I should be at the end. Moving right along to reverse hack squat. I like this hack squat machine. I will be very honest, sometimes it irritates my low back, so sometimes I have to be a little bit careful on it. Sorry, it's kind of an odd angle, but this is what I was working with. But this was the second kind of compound movement of my lower body day, so I started with hip thrust, moved right along onto this, and then my third, so to say, compound lift of this workout was split squats, and I actually do these on this machine right here. I don't know exactly what you would call this machine, but I really like it. I feel this a lot in my glutes because the surface that I'm standing on, it's kind of curved, so it allows me to place more of an emphasis in my heel. And I actually filmed all the way to the end of this set, so you guys will see kind of how I'm struggling towards the end and what I look like when I finish my set. But this was the third lift of the workout. As you can see, I'm kind of struggling, and there we go. I am struggling again. So now moving right along to the lying hamstring curls or the prone hamstring curls. So actually what I did here is right here you'll see I'm actually going really heavy. So I'm going really heavy, and then immediately after, I believe I went to failure on my heavy set. Immediately after this I did a drop set, meaning right here I went to failure. That was my last rep, and then I dropped the weight in half, and then I burned out with some drop set reps at a much lighter weight to just kind of burn things out. And then moving right along to this next exercise, which is kind of funky, but I like to call it the reverse frog pump on the Smith machine. It's actually really great for glute isolation. It's one of my favorites. I know it looks kind of weird and it's a kind of an odd setup, but I really feel it a ton in my glutes. So when I do this, I always do it towards the end of my workout as more of a glute accessory movement. And like I said, it's a little funky to set up, but once you get the right setup, it really does isolate your glutes really, really well, and it doesn't take a lot of weight to do so. And then the next movement you are going to see is also using the Smith machine as well. So this is actually something that I have come up with, and it's kind of essentially the same thing as like a glute ham raise, except I'm using the Smith machine, and I kid you guys not, I feel this exercise so much in my glute hamstring tie-in area and in my hamstrings specifically. I love this exercise. Don't knock it till you try it. It is so hard, even just body weight, but it is a really, really good one. Again, another weird setup, but amazing. Okay, and then last but not least, I am doing the seated machine abductors. So same concept as like the hamstring curls here. I did a really heavy first set. So you'll see me right here. I'm working with really heavy weight, and I go till failure, and I believe that is this rep right here. I can't push it any farther. And then I do a drop set. So I basically drop the weight in half and then do about, I think I usually do about 15 to 20 reps here just to kind of burn out the muscles. This is just a really great intensifier to do at the very end of your workout, and sometimes I like doing it on these like smaller, more machine accessory movements. So that is it for my glute workout. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will go into depth more about this workout in a bit. So right now, I'm really focused on pushing myself weight-wise, right? So I wanted to do just a little explanation of the footage you guys saw. I feel like a lot of people in general overthink their training, right? I think a lot of times, like when I have clients that come to me, they think that there is this like perfect program, right? And at the end of the day, I'll be honest, it is going to vary person to person, right? So let me give you an example. You know, for me, I am somebody who absolutely, I'll give an example of a movement I don't like. And the reason I don't like it is because I don't feel it in my glutes where I should. And that's B stance RDLs. So I also know some like of my teammates or some girls who are also bikini competitors who love B stance RDLs, right? So that's an example of like how I could do that lift and I don't feel it in my glutes where I should. So that's probably not a good movement for me to do. So that's where, it really does come in handy with having somebody, who can really specify your training program to you and to what you, not only can perform best, but can also feel the best recruitment in, because it's going to, differ person to person. And a lot of that has to do too with your structure and how you're built, right? Somebody who's a little bit taller may feel certain exercises a little bit different than somebody who's shorter or who has, a longer femur or a shorter femur, right? So I personally write my own training. I love writing my own training. I have an exercise physiology major, so I know what I'm doing in that aspect, but plus I just love it. And I know that, I know where I need to be working on the most in this improvement season. And something else I really wanted to preface is I always find it really weird when competitors start taking their training more seriously in prep, because the way I look at it is right now when I'm in my reverse diet and I'm essentially in a building season where I'm eating enough food to grow, this is where my workouts matter the most, right? It's not in prep. I mean, I'm not saying workouts in prep aren't important, but I think that as a competitor, if you really want to level up and you really want to bring a different package to stage every time, you can't just take your workouts seriously in prep, right? If anything, you should be taking them even more seriously in your improvement season, because that's where your body should be in an anabolic state, aka muscle building state, right? In prep, you're not really in an anabolic state of building muscle. You're kind of just maintaining what you do have, right? So the way I look at it is every time I go and train right now, I am like, all right, I gotta make the most of this workout, right? Because once I start prep again, my body's not gonna be as anabolic as it is right now. So I'm almost like creating this sense of urgency for myself right now with my workouts and like how important they should be and how intense they should be. But at the end of the day, you guys saw my workout. There's nothing crazy in it that was like, super, unique or weird. It's all pretty basic movements. I hit every part of the glute. So I have a thrusting movement. So I started with hip thrusts. I had a squatting variation movement. I also had an abductor movement. So I was hitting every part of the glute, and I do keep my workouts typically between like 6 to 7 movements per lift. I usually always start my lifts with the compound movements. So the first 3 movements of my workout being the reverse hack squat, the barbell hip thrust, and the split squat on that little funky machine. All 3 of those things take me the most time. So those are the movements I typically, 1, they require the most energy and most strength from me, but 2, they're also the movements that I spend like a lot of time on. And then the rest of the movements towards the end that are a little bit more accessory focused, I spend a little bit less time on, right? They take a little bit less out of me, so to say, because they're more isolation movements as far as, instead of the compound movements that you see at the beginning of the workout. And that's just how I structure all of my training splits. And also I do that for my clients as well. I want them to be able to allocate the majority of their energy to the lifts at the beginning, like the compound lifts that are going to take a little bit more energy. And then we follow up at the end with like the accessory movements and more of the isolation movements, so to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed that training footage. If you do have any questions specifically for me about training, whether it be my training or a question about your own training, you can feel free to comment below and I can answer the best I possibly can. But now let's get back to the rest of the video. Okay, so a little break in the video. I never thought I would get asked this. Oh my gosh, what is with my hair? But somebody actually asked me to show how I do my bun. So I'm gonna show you guys, give you a little bun tutorial. It's nothing crazy, but I'm just getting ready to put my hair up. So I'm gonna show you guys just how I do my bun. Because this person told me, they're like, every time I do a bun, it looks like crazy, or it looks like a doorknob. So I'm gonna show you guys just how I do it. So obviously start with my hair down, and it's very simple. So, okay, I throw my hair up like this on top of my head, right? And then what I do is I just loop it through like this, and loop it through a second time. And then on the third time, I take this little extra strand right here and the loop, and I put them together, and then I just loop it through together like this. And then I just kind of like fiddle with it, play with it, and that's how you get the what I like to call the Lexie fun bun. So that's my little bun tutorial. Okay, so I'm getting ready to make some tilapia. So actually recently I have been advised to try either cutting out chicken or eggs. Both of those are my main protein sources right now, but I had a meeting with my naturopath earlier this week, and I was telling her I've been kind of experiencing just some like digestion like issues, just a little bit of like, I don't know, like it just doesn't seem like my food is digesting as well as normal. So she suggested trying to rotate out my protein sources. So I decided to cut out chicken for now, which is so sad because I do love chicken, but I have been doing tilapia in place because tilapia is pretty much the same macronutrient profile as boneless, skinless chicken breast. So for 1 serving of tilapia, it's 2 fat, 0 carb, 22 protein, so very similar to chicken, but I've been doing tilapia. It's kind of too early to like tell if I've noticed a difference or not yet, but I just get the frozen, or I have been getting the frozen tilapia from Target, and what I've been doing is I've just been sticking a fillet into my air fryer and cooking it that way. So I'm getting ready to do that right now, and I'll show you guys kind of what it looks like. I just put it in there plain. Honestly, everything I usually put in the air fryer, I just put it in there plain, and then if I do season it or add a condiment, I obviously do that afterwards. So I'm gonna get one of these bad boys out, put it in the air fryer, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it is finished. So here is what I'm working with. It's a little like broken up, but you can see it's like a little crispy on the edges. That's usually how it kind of cooks itself in the air fryer. I just put it in 375 degrees for about like 14 minutes, and it usually gets all the way cooked through, and I actually just put it in there frozen. So this is what it looks like. I have not put any seasoning on it yet. Typically I'll just put a little bit of sea salt and nutritional yeast, but that is how I've been cooking my tilapia, and I've actually really been enjoying tilapia. As much as I love chicken and it's sad not to be eating it right now, what is better is having a good digestion, because it's just not worth it sometimes to have food that you actually like but that makes your gut feel awful. So while I'm kind of troubleshooting and seeing if chicken is the issue, tilapia in its place is definitely a good substitute. Like I said, I like it, tilapia, and honestly, out of all protein, I always do find that white fish digests really, really well for me. So I can live with tilapia for a little while, but this is how I have been cooking it. I wanted to also show you guys one of my favorite fall finds. So this is delicata squash. This is actually after I cooked it, but I did show this in my last video. I believe I showed that I got some delicata in my grocery haul, and I've been getting it every week, and I love it. It's really rich in fiber too, which is always helpful, like if you eat the skin. But I want to show you guys like how I cook it. So delicata squash, I got the squash and I poke little holes in it, and I usually put it in my air fryer to roast it. So this is what you see now. I took it out. It's super easy to just cut into from there, but you will see the only thing that's kind of annoying with delicata and just like squash in general, which is kind of like, you know, first world probs, but that it has the seeds in it, so you do have to take some time to like scrape out the seeds. But basically once I do that, so like it's still steaming, it's really hot. Once I cut out the seeds in it, they form these like ringlets, and I do eat it with the skin on because, like I said, lots of good fiber. But this is amazing. I love this squash, probably my favorite squash. I love spaghetti squash too, but again, hate the whole like having to pit the seeds and having to take that out. It's just so messy, and I don't want to. I know that they sell like spaghetti squash already spiralized, and same with, well, I don't know if they sell delicata already cut up, but it's so much more expensive. So I will just, you know, suck it up and put out the seeds myself. But I wanted to show you guys this because I did get some questions about how I made my delicata. So I just roasted in my air fryer. If I wanted to, which I'm not going to because I do like it a little softer, I could put these back in the air fryer and put it on the air fry setting if I wanted it a little bit more crispy, but I actually really like it like when it's soft. So I'm just gonna take the seeds out, and then I will store these in the fridge. Hello friends, so I'm just sitting here editing this video and I realized I did not film an outro clip. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and kind of everything that it entailed. It was a hodgepodge of a lot. I feel like that's how my vlogs are. But most importantly, I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of training footage and that explanation and kind of walkthrough of how my current training looks. Again, I just share this with you guys because I know a lot of you guys are very interested. I've gotten asked a lot to showcase some of my training. So it's not glamorous. It's not anything funky, crazy. My training is pretty basic, but in my opinion, the basics get the job done. I think a lot of people try to overcomplicate training. And I think at the end of the day, like the best bodybuilders out there typically are doing pretty basic workouts. They're just really focusing on intensity and really pushing themselves to the limits with those basic movements. So anyways, I digress. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up, comment below, share this video. It really does help with the growth of my channel. And I hope that wherever you guys are at in the world, you have a great rest of your day.